Hi, my name's Marianne and welcome to the Wallflowers Kitchen. Today we're going to make blackcurrant jam. So the berries you see here, absolutely luscious berries. I'd like to claim that I'd actually grown them, but sadly I didn't get quite this many this year. And I managed to buy these frozen locally at literally 50p a kilo, so I managed to get 4 of them, and today I'm going to use 2 kilos and see how many jars of luscious blackcurrant jam we can get today. So I'm going to start off by blending the blackberries. You can actually do this 2 ways. You can actually take a spatula or a pummel or anything you like and actually squash yourself all of the fruit, drain the pulp off and just use the actual juice. Those are actually called jellies, pretty much like a jam, but there's no lumps in them, and some people prefer it like that. I like to get the full nutrients of the whole of the skin, the pulp and everything that's in the blackcurrant, and the best way to do that is literally put it all in the blender, which I'm about to do. Hopefully I don't get it all over me or all over the table. No smell, lovely. Oh, had to be one bit, didn't it? So, let's get the handle nice and tight. Put the top on. I don't normally do this back to front, so let me do it how I normally do it. There we go. And we'll start the pulp. Would help if I switched it on. It's a bit loud, but here we go again. Okay, I think that should do it. Now, if I manage to make I'm probably averaging between 4 and 5 jars per kilo, hopefully. So times that by 4, could be 20 jars of jam, hopefully. I can put away to last us on this 12 months of providing as much food as we can for the family. So that would be 20 jars of blackcurrant jam. Bearing in mind, it sounds like an awful lot, but it's not. By the time you've got people having it on toast or a quick sandwich here and there, full jar for a cake, you might use it for pancakes, you might use it for different things. 20 jars of something that you really like the taste of mightn't last that long. So the blackberries are out there, there are wild fruits, there are different things. You can go and buy some strawberries, you can go and buy any fruit that you like and do the same process and make your own jam and put it away for a year. If you find a job lot of any fruit that you particularly like and it's a really decent price, you buy it, you go home, you prep and you put that food away for the winter. We're all worried now, and there may come a time that you can't get certain amounts of luxuries, and a jar of jam and you being able to make a cake and put that filling in will be an ultimate treat for a family if you haven't had any treats for a while. It's well worth doing this stuff. So I'm going to take that lot and I'm going to place it in my trusty camping can. pan number 2. This is me again, hoping I don't make a mess everywhere. I don't over pulp it, as you can see from the mixture I've already done. I quite like the chunks of fruit in it. If you were going to put that in scones, in cakes, whatever, those chunks are quite nice in the middle of a cake. So we all like it our own way, but we like a bit of texture to ours. Tip that back in its original pan. My next step is you do equal measurements to your fruit. So whatever your fruit weighs, you put the same amount of sugar. So each of mine is a kilo, as I already mentioned. So I will add a kilo of sugar to each one. Sugar on the bottom. Now with red currants and black currants, you don't actually need any pectin for it to form the jam, as with some fruits you do. So there are different methods to this recipe. Some people like lemon juice in it, and some people say it's uncalled for. I like to add the lemon juice. I think it just adds slightly to the flavour. With these crispy bits on the bottom. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of lemon juice in each one. As I say, that's down to taste and preference really. Let me be organised. No. Typical. I always forget to put my glasses on when I'm meant to be concentrating. So, now I'm going to add half a pint of water to each one. Now again, this can vary. Some people don't actually add any water at all at this point. Bring it to the boil and it's a balance of the fruit and the sugar. Some people add a quarter, different people have measurements. I prefer to have the half pint and eke out as much as we can, really, see if we can get any extra jars out of it. Still having a luscious fruity tangy flavour. So I'm going to take these to the oven and take it from there. So now we've got the blackcurrants in, the sugar in, and the lemon juice and the water. I've just got it on a medium heat and you just keep stirring it. At this point I've put 2 sauces, side plates, into the freezer so we can do the setting test, hopefully anywhere between the next 10 and 20 minutes, depending on how well it comes together and how quickly. And this hasn't actually heated up yet or heated through, but once it's heated up you don't want to walk away, because if it boils over it's a big mess to try and clean up. Sticky jam, hot. Anyway, see, originally starting I thought, oh, I might be able to fit 2 kilos in that pan, and then I realised there's 2 kilos of sugar on top and it would be a whole pint of water on top. And if you can see the distance we've got now for a rise when it comes to a ramble and boil, you certainly wouldn't have any room to do 2 lots in the one pan. So this is the best way to do it, I think. This one at the front should come to the boil quickest, and then I can move this one forward. Right, I'll let this heat through and then show you when we get to a ramble and boil. So now this is what we call a rambling boil. You keep stirring it, keep whipping a bit of cold air into it and stopping it from boiling up and leaving the pan. You can always put your wooden spoon across and it stops. We've got this, so I'd say I'm about 1.5 minutes into this rambling boil. So I'd like to maintain it for a couple of minutes if I can, without having a disaster. Step back, because this is like molten lava. Nothing worse than hot jam landing on your skin and giving you a burn. It's not what we want. So, whilst I was ready for this to come to the boil, I've got my glass jars in the oven and I've got the lids in some water I just boiled in the kettle, and they're just coming nicely to a hot temperature to match the jars and the jam liquid going in them. As I say, I'm trying to maintain these 2 pots now. That one's not so bad, it's got a lot more space in the pan, but this one's a bit touch and go. It could just flare up. I think I'm going to tone it down a tad. In a minute I shall get one of those sauces out the freezer and do a test and see how it goes. So the test is you take a blob of the jam, you add it to the frozen side plate saucer, and you leave it for 30 seconds. After the 30 seconds, if you run your finger through it and it leaves a clear lane and doesn't regroup again straight away. It's basically done. So I think I'm going to thank you, Mr. Wallphones. I think I'm actually going to do that now. I'm going to leave that there for 30 seconds. Can you see that? Leave that there for 30 seconds. We'll give it a quick rub through. The reds and the purples coming out in these berries are absolutely gorgeous. Currants, not berries. Currant is a berry though, isn't it? I think we all call a currant a berry. I'll have to look that up. What's the actual difference between a berry and a currant? Right, do we think 30 seconds is up? Let's have a little go. It's coming back together again already. It's joined in the middle. Not ready yet. Still on a nice rambling boil, that. It's nice then. So I think my jars have been in 10-15 minutes now, which is sufficient, but they're not on a hot heat, they're on a medium heat, just heating them through, so they'll be alright to wait as long as we need to. As I say, it's a perfect time for picking fruit, whether it be in your own garden, whether you go out foraging. I mean, sometimes there's elderly people or people who can't go out and pick their own fruit in their own gardens. So if you notice people in your local vicinity, neighbours, and they're not picking the fruit, why don't you ask them, can you go and pick the fruit and share it with them and have half each? You know, there'll be more than enough if somebody's got a good crop to share, and it'd be a shame to waste it. So if you see it there, don't just leave it there to rot. The birds will take their fill, but the rest will just go to the ground. Right, I think I'm going to test this one again, not so much. Teaspoon. Second rule. There's lots of cordials you can make from fruit as well. my rhubarb's not quite ready yet, but when it comes through, we noticed we don't really eat a lot of rhubarb crumble, or some wouldn't eat it, and we weren't eating ourselves. So with rhubarb now, we turn it into cordial. And that could be a possibility for one of these kilos of red currants. I'm going to turn that into cordial. So I've got 3 kilos of fruit for jam and then a kilo for cordial. On a day like today, it'd be a lovely drink. An absolute scorcher all day. I'm absolutely baking. So that doesn't seem to be creeping back. Slightly up again. It's trial and error really. You've just basically got to keep going till it's got that gel texture where it's going to set. Oh, it just smells fruity there. It smells lovely. Right, I shall ramp this up and come back to you when it's ready to set. So right, consistency is right, and we're about to fill the jars. Just a normal ladle and scoop it in. It's not going to be perfect, I'm going to make a mess, I always do, but what's the old saying? You can't make an omelette without cracking eggs. And I just want that just below the neck. That's perfect. As I say, I'm not really sure how many jars, but if I get 5, I'll be more than happy. Okay, possibly 4.5. The more you scrape out, the less you have to scrub out. Okay, about 4 1/3, I'd say it was. Let's go for the second one. Fill. such a mucky pot, but don't worry, I'm the one cleaning it up. Look at that, I missed that one completely. Right, got that in. Now, you can either take kitchen roll or toilet tissue as I'm using, dip it in the vinegar, rub it around the edge of the jar, make sure there's nothing going to stop that cap from the vacuum seal that you want it to do. Let me try and the glass. It's inside. I'm quite happy with that one. Okay, so I didn't get quite as many as I thought I'd get. I thought I'd get 2 lots of 5, so I actually got 4 and a third from one and the rest from another. So we've got 8 jars in total. So I spent £1 on 2 kilos of blackcurrants, £1 on 2 kilos of sugar. So that's £2, basically 5p worth, if that, of lemon juice. And now I have 8 jars of jam for, say, approximately 25p each. They're now going to go in the canner. So although the preserve itself is really good, as we know with any open jar of jam, after a while it will just form a mould on top. So to store these for as long as I possibly can, I'm going to put them in the canner and vacuum seal them. So not only are they preserved, they are vacuum sealed, and they can last anywhere up to 3 years and above. So I'm really happy with that. Excuse me. So as I say, I have another 2 kilos there. So if I make some cordial with 1 kilo and again another 4 jars, I'd be quite happy with that as blackcurrant stock. And then I shall start on blackberries and wherever of the fruit that I can make some jams out of to put away for the winter. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today, and I really do hope you either have fruit of your own that you can use and you're a regular jam maker, or you go and ask someone, can you pick theirs? You go and buy some frozen or fresh and just provide and put away for your family. I'll see you soon. Thanks.